Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to our English online grammar session. Can you guess what is the topic today we are going to deal with? Yes, of course. Today we are going to learn a new grammar topic, that is question tags. A question tag is a small question which is used at the end of a statement. And question tags are generally used in English language to agree something or confirm something. So it's a general rule that we know that positive statement which takes a negative tag and a negative statement which takes a positive tag. So as I said that it is used for confirmation agreement. Example, am I right or do you agree? So they are very commonly used in our English language. So what is a question tag? A question tag is a short form of a question used at the end of the statement. So we use question tags when we want to check the given information is correct or not, or if you want to agree on certain thing, you will be asking a question tag, that is a short form of a question used at the end of a statement. There are two types of question tags in English language. One is positive tag, the second one is negative tag. Coming to the positive tags, let us see some of the positive tags in our English language. Are you, was he, were they, do you, should you, would you, will you, did you, have you, can you, is he, had you, could you, must be. These are some of the positive tags used in our English language. Next, let us see some of the negative tags which is used in the English language. Negative tag which represents not. Aren't you, isn't he, weren't he, shall we, shouldn't you, wasn't he, mustn't we, can't you, don't you, doesn't you, aren't I, hadn't you, didn't you, couldn't you, won't you, wouldn't you, haven't you. Now let us see the rules of question tag. Coming to the first rule, a positive statement which takes a negative tag. So a question tag, the answer will be verb plus pronoun. So it takes verb plus pronoun. See the sentence, Priya can dance. It is a positive statement. How can you identify it as a positive statement? If not is not there, then it is a positive statement. So Priya can dance is a positive statement and the answer will be verb plus pronoun. So when it is used instead of noun, then it is called as pronoun. So Priya, instead of Priya we are using she. So it is a pronoun. He, she, it, they refers to pronoun. Opposite of can is can't. So positive statement uses a negative tag. What is the negative tag of can? Can't. So what is the answer? Can't she. Coming to second rule, a negative statement which uses a positive tag. So Ramya can't sing. So this is a negative statement. How can you identify? Cannot is there. So what is the answer? Can she is the tag. So a question tag which takes verb plus pronoun. What is the verb here? Can. What is the pronoun? She. So what is first rule? A positive statement which takes a negative tag. Second rule is negative statement which uses a positive tag. So the answer will be verb plus pronoun. So we won't be taking the main verb. Here we will be taking the auxiliary verb which is otherwise called as the helping verbs. Already we have discussed there are 24 auxiliaries and is, was, were, have, has, had, can, could, shall, should, may, might, must. These are the auxiliaries used. So the answer will be verb plus pronoun. So the verb will be here auxiliary verb plus pronoun and not the main verb. Now let us see the statement with auxiliaries. Auxiliaries are nothing but helping verbs. So when the statement is positive, the answer will be negative. So auxiliary here, which is the auxiliary or the helping verb in the first sentence is the auxiliary. So the question is in positive. The answer will be in negative. So is, what is the negative tag? Isn't it. Next example, beers are dangerous. So are is the auxiliary or the helping verb here. So the negative is aren't. So beers they are plural. So aren't they. So statement with auxiliaries, similarly, when the question is positive, the answer will be negative. Auxiliaries are nothing but the other helping verbs. Am, is, was, were, have, has, had. So can, could, shall, should, may, might, must. These are all auxiliaries. So auxiliaries are helping verbs in additional to the main verbs. Now let us see the statement without auxiliaries. That is statement without helping verbs. So this is a very important rule. Listen carefully. So you have to see the question. That is, in question you have to see the tense. Whether if the sentence it is in present tense, then you have to see the subject. If the subject is singular, then you have to use does. So in present tense, if the subject is singular, does should be used as a tag. And in present tense, if the subject is plural, the answer starts with do. That is, question tag starts with do. Next, if the sentence is past tense, you need not worry about singular and plural. We will be using did in both the cases, that is singular and plural subject. So once again I will repeat. So in present tense, the subject is singular, you should use does. If the subject is plural, you have to use do. And in past tense, singular or plural, did form is used. Discuss some of the examples. First one is the sun shines hot in summer. So what is the rule? We have to see the tense form. If it is a present tense and the subject is singular, does should be used. And if the subject is plural in present tense, do should be used. So the first sentence, the verb shines indicates it is a present tense and the subject is the sun. So does is used. So the question is positive, the answer should be negative. So what is the negative tag of does? Doesn't. What is the pronoun? It. The sun, you are referring it. Next, Sachin broke the world record. So what is the tense here? Broke represents it is a past tense. So past tense or present tense, did form is used. What is the negative of did? Didn't. What is the pronoun? He. Next, third example, rivers flow towards the sea. So the sentence is in present tense and the subject which is plural. So do form is used. So as usual, when question is positive, the answer should be negative. So don't is the negative form of do. The they is the pronoun. Next rule is that statements using has, have, had as auxiliaries. That is, you have to see the sentence, the bell has rung, which is the main verb. Rung is the main verb. Has is the auxiliary. So in such case, the question is positive. The answer should be negative. Has, what is the negative? Has not. So hasn't it. Next example, the school bus had started in time. So had, what is the negative form? Hadn't it. So this rule is applicable only if the helping verb comes along with the main verb. So statement using has, have, had as auxiliaries. So the statement is positive, the answer will be negative. The statement is negative, the answer will be positive. So no other difference. In the previous slide, we discussed that statements using have, has, had as auxiliaries, that is addition to main verb, then you will be using as such. The statement is positive, the answer will be negative. If the statement is negative, the tag will be positive. Here in this rule, the statements using has, have, had as the main verb. That is, if you notice the example, you won't be having the main verb. So the auxiliary has, have, had which acts as the main verb. In such case, do, does, did form should be used. That is, you have to see the sentence is present tense and you have to see the subject. If it is a singular subject, does should be used. In present tense, if it is plural, do should be used. And past tense, singular or plural, did should be used. Example, a tiger has sharp claws. So it is have to see the tense. So it is a present tense and a singular subject. So you are using the tag doesn't it. Next, Indians have great respect for traditions. So it is a present tense and the subject is plural. So you are using don't. So don't they is the answer. Statements having negative words which use positive tag. So No, none, never, not, neither, nor. These represents a negative meaning. See the example, Sheila is not going to come today. The sentence is negative, so we are using positive tag is she. See the next example, my grandfather never smokes. Never represents, it is a negative sentence, so you have to use positive tag. So here there is no auxiliary, you have to use do, does, did forms. That is, you have to see whether the sentence is present tense or past tense. Present tense, you have to see the subject is singular or plural. Singular subject, present tense, does. Plural subject, present tense, do. Here the subject is singular and it is present tense, so we are using the tag does he because the statement is negative, so we are using the positive tag does he. Coming to the next rule, the words little, few, scarcely, hardly, rarely, which takes a positive tag. That is, these words which denotes negative meaning, so the answer is positive. Example, they rarely lose their points. That is, in case there is no auxiliaries, you have to shift to do, does, did forms. That is, you have to see whether the sentence is present tense or past tense. Present tense, you have to see subject, singular subject, plural. So the subject is singular, you have to use does. When the subject is plural, you have to use do. In case of past tense, singular or plural subject, did form is used. So see the first sentence, it is a present tense and the subject is plural, so using do they. Next, Santosh scarcely listens in the class, so the subject is singular and the tense is present tense, so the answer is does he. So do, does, did form, strictly you have to keep it in. Coming to the next rule, statements having a little, a few takes a positive tag. In the previous slide we discussed little, few, rarely, scarcely, which denotes negative meaning, but here a little, a few, which takes a positive meaning and the answer is negative. Example, a little sugar is added to sauces. So what is the auxiliary here? Is. So the negative form is isn't it. Next example, they had bought a few handkerchiefs. Answer is hadn't they. Had is the auxiliary. The negative form of had is hadn't. They is there, so hadn't they. So statements having a little, a few, they are considered to be positive sentences and the tag should be negative. Next example, the word only, which uses both positive and negative tags. So you can use both positive and negative tags, both are correct. Only children are allowed to play in the park. So the word only, positive and negative tags can be used. So what is the answer? Are is the auxiliary, aren't they. So if the question is positive, answer is negative. If you are writing aren't they is also correct, are they is also correct. Next example, he did only one mistake. So didn't he is also correct, did he is also correct. So the word only, which takes both positive and negative tags. So both the positive answers and the negative tag answers are considered to be correct. The word let's uses the tag shall be. That is, if the sentence starts with let's, the tag will be shall be. So example, let's go for a walk, let's go for a movie, let's go for a dinner. If the sentence starts with let's, the answer will be shall be. So let's takes the answer shall be. Plus that for simple request, the tag will be will you. Example, come with me. You are requesting somebody to come. So the tag is will you. Get me a ticket, will you. Pass me the book, will you. So for simple request, you should use the tag will you. So what is the tag answer for simple request? Will you. In previous slide we discussed for simple request, the tag will be will you. For urgent request, the tag should be won't you. What is an urgent request? Something which has to be done immediately is called as urgent request. Send the email immediately. Pass on the message soon. So all this indicates urgent request. So what is the tag answer used? Won't you. For simple request, will you, And for urgent request, won't you? Next, for impatient remarks, the tag is can't you. That is impatient. You can't wait. You don't have patience to wait for something. That is called impatient remarks. Keep quiet. Can't you? Listen to me. Can't you? Be attentive. Can't you? So, impatient remarks, that if you are losing your patience and such type of questions, we use the tag can't you. Statements using each, every, someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, none, nobody, which takes the plural pronoun they. That is, in all these cases, when every, someone, somebody, all these words, so it ends with the pronoun they. So take for example, everybody is happy. So they, aren't they is the answer. They is common in all these cases. So is, what is the plural? Are. So the question is positive. So we are using aren't they. Next, someone can do it. So they is there. Then can, can't. So what is the rule here? Someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, none, nobody, which takes the plural pronoun they. Students, let us see some of the positive question tags. You aren't a teacher, are you? He isn't crazy, is he? He wasn't relaxed, was he? They weren't late, were they? You don't speak French, do you? You did not study for the test, did you? You haven't been here all week, have you? You hadn't done it before then, had you? You won't fail in the exam, will you? You can't drive a car, can you? You couldn't do it for me, could you? You mustn't say anything, must we? You shouldn't be so busy, should you? You wouldn't stop me, would you? So, if the question is positive, the answer will be negative. If the answer is negative, the question will be positive. So, these are the few tags we have seen. Let us discuss some of the negative question tags. See the example. You are a student, aren't you? He is very busy, isn't he? He was happy, wasn't he? They were surprised, weren't they? You speak English, don't you? He studies Spanish, doesn't he? You studied for the test, didn't you? You have studied all week, haven't you? You had arrived before he left, hadn't you? You will pass the exam, won't you? So the tag for will is won't. You can speak 2 languages, can't you? You could do it for me, couldn't you? You must be patient, mustn't we? You should go now, shouldn't you? You would like a new job, wouldn't you? These are the few negative question tags. So you should remember always, if there is no auxiliary, you should use do, does, did forms. Do, does, did forms. This present tense have to see singular subject. Does, if it is plural, do. Past tense singular, plural. Did form should be. Now let us see some of the examples of question tags. So far we have learned all the rules. Now let us see some of the examples. First one, I like wearing colorful costumes. So you have to see do, does, did forms, present and singular subjects. Then you have to see whether the subject is plural, past and singular, plural. You have to use did. So here I is there, so you can't use doesn't, so don't I. She went to cinema last week, so past tense, so didn't she. I have to wear uniform in the school, don't I. Sheila hasn't written any novels, has she? Kubra can't play football well, can she? I'm from Mersin. So tag for I'm is aren't I. So you keep it in mind. The tag for I am is aren't I. I am not from Mersin. Not is there. So am I. Next, Daigu is going to read her English story book next weekend, isn't she? There is a tape recorder on the table, isn't there? This is a worksheet, isn't it? Don't give me advice, will you? So this is a worksheet. So if it is any things, it refers to anything, it will be used. So it is a pronoun here. So the tag for I am is aren't I am not is am I. Next, give an example please. Will you? That is, we have discussed in previous slides that for simple request tag is will you, urgent request won't you, and impatient remarks can't you. So sit down, will you? Let's go to party, let's play a game. If the question starts with let's, the tag is shall we. Somebody is at the door. So certain things, somebody, everybody, etc. The certain words, the tag ends with they. So here the auxiliary is, the plural is are. So this statement is positive. The answer will be in negative. So aren't they? Everybody is thinking about the quiz. Aren't they? Nobody called me yesterday. So called as past tense. So we'll be using what? Did. So nobody signifies a negative meaning. So did they? Everything was done to save the rainforest. So the auxiliary is there. Was, wasn't it? Sultan never drinks beer, does he? So never represents a negative meaning. So the tag should be in positive. So does he? My mother rarely goes out with her friends. Does she? So rarely, never, scarcely, all these things which denotes a negative meaning. So the tag will be in positive. Halia has never been to Paris. So has is there. Never is there, so negative meaning. So we are using the positive tag has she. My friend seldom has an argument with somebody. Does she? Students, today we have learnt a new topic, question tag and its rules. Kindly learn the rules of question tags. It is very interesting and easy to see the assignment questions. I'm fine, I'm not in right place. Come in, open the door. It hasn't rained yet. She likes tennis. Nobody knows. This will work. Priya likes drawing. Cats like fish. Next, send the parcel immediately. Give me a pen. Priya wrote a letter. He wanted to buy a car. John will be here tomorrow. They don't like us. He is seldom absent. There were no good schools in the town. My father never scolds me. She was bold. So kindly answer all these questions. Thank you, dear students.